Actually we call it the subway stop. This is actually a subway sign from New York, and the tiles down here are actually from a substation in New York as well. We actually just put these tiles down about 4 months ago, right before we went to New York for that trip. But as we said before, you're going to see this theme throughout the ship: the police department, fire department, port authority, whether it be the actual badge shapes or the colors, navy blue, red, and light blue. So just something that's different about our ship that you won't see on most ships, are so much memorabilia around the ship.
So these they have to go through a board and an exam to make sure that they know everything about this ship and its capabilities. For carriers, they can also earn a flight pin, but this is specific to this ship, and when they go on board other ships, they have to re-qualify. But this is a pretty big deal when they make that. We make an all-hands.
You got to know everything from the propulsion,
yep,
firefighting,
the combat, and everything.
Communication.
You'll see them by their limp. I love it. And I keep that and the picture of the family member that lost his life in my breast pocket every time I come aboard. But that's my engineering coverall, so I don't wear this uniform often. But that plank right before you, the wood of that plank is actually from the battleship New York. That we added the USS New York City on there later. But there's a lot of memorabilia, like the steel right here, the spike, that's from the World Trade Center that was donated by a family. We have a lot of different gifts that were donated to the Chief's Mess. The patches themselves were collected by the Chief's Mess and displayed. We actually have a lot more than that. It's just tough to display them all because there's so many. We have roughly almost 230 patches, I believe. When we actually stop, breathe, and like when we're in New York City and here now, then it kind of hits us like, oh yeah, we forget we're actually something special. Like it just doesn't always register because of getting that pattern, that battle rhythm, and we're just do work, do work, do work. And when we actually get a chance to sit back and explain what we do, like, oh yeah, I am something special. We try to get the research of anyone coming on board, and if they had family members in 9/11, we go all out, make sure that they get themselves a great tour guide that knows the ship in and out, and get the full deal.
Is this the officers' dining room?
Yes, this is what we call the wardroom. So we all in the officers' wardroom, we all have our own coffee rooms, quite like the Chief's Mess. And see if I can. So we have right here's Lieutenant J.G. McFadden. She's a surface warfare officer. So we all have our own mugs. Every time we have a new addition to the wardroom, we like to get them their own mug, make them feel at home.
So do you get to eat?
Yes, this is where I eat. On the Eastern Front. So we actually have right over here is from the battleship New York. That copper is it's got silver on there as well. That's what we also call as the ship silver. So that's part of our own collection from the battleship New York. So as you can tell, you get real close, you can actually read some of the inscriptions, but I haven't been lucky enough to see it actually be pulled out and used. But whenever we go out to see our supply officer, this is he's in charge of himself.
Piece by piece.
Exactly.
Imagine if you had, you know, the President or Secretary of Defense on here, it'd get pulled.
Navigation type radar. right behind you we have this console that gives us all the readouts. If you want to swing around, I'll show you. It gives us a readout of the entire engineering plan. Now I can't actually access any of the generators or the engine temperatures. We have all the intakes, the out. If they were actually engaged, these little clasps, they look like clamshells with flaps. That lets us know that it's actually engaged. From the speed being so fast to actually high torque, which turns that shaft. So in addition to these, I'm going to pull up the actual electrical plant, which will have our ship's diesel generators right here. So we can see that these two are online, which are powering the ship. This one's on standby and this one's on standby. Just in case they kick out, we can put another one on. We always have backups. They'll wear life vests, and so if they do fall overboard, they have a salt water activating, what we call a man overboard. And it will flash and it will send a signal directly to the ship. And right there, the four prongs coming out on the top there, that reads that signal, and it almost works as a compass and a magnet. So the actual Moby indicator will point only at where the man overboard is. And the signal strength, it will get stronger and stronger as you get closer.
Yes, my name is Gerald Burgess. I am a Navy veteran from many years ago. I am now an agent with the United States Customs and Border Protection, and I work at the Miami Air and Marine Branch, which is located on Homestead Air Force Base in Homestead, Florida. It is impressive. I like the way that you guys have, paid very careful attention in integrating things from New York and from Twin Towers and things like that. It's very impressive, and it's hard to put it into words. It's really an experience. The Marines and sailors did a fine job. Feel very fortunate I was able to get over here and get this tour. We're all behind you guys 100%. We're gonna do what we can to support the Navy and the Marines, and I hope you guys will keep doing the good work that you do. My favorite thing about the USS New York, I suppose that would have to be just the attention to detail, the respect you guys have paid, never forgetting, what it was that, generated the interest in building this ship and bringing things from, the disaster that happened on September 11th. It's obvious you guys keep this ship in tip-top shape, and, doing a fine job out here, I think. Just like to say thank you from all of us here. We support all of you guys that are, serving the United States of America and in the U.S. military, Navy, and Marine Corps, and support you when you go back out to sea, and when you come back, we look forward to seeing you again.